Testing. Testing. Okay, it's looking like we're doing this. Right, okay, good. Alright then, when we last left off, it does, not on my end. Refresh and see if it's still showing for you. Because it looks like it's... Okay. I still have no skills, and that actually worries me.
Now then, let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial. During the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it. If you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave this island. Oh well, who cares about this boring explanation? Let's get on with it already!
I don't mind starting the trial, but I don't really have a grasp of how the case played out. You know, because I was asleep the whole time.
Even if you do grasp it, you're just gonna confuse the heck out of us, aren't you?
But Nagito's not alone. I don't really get it either.
You're fine. Your head's empty anyway.
Empty head? Huh. What's wrong with that? Listen up. The emptier your head, the more dreams you can stuff inside it, you know?
Anyway, we shouldn't proceed with the trial if those two can't participate in the arguments. Since he's the first witness, why don't we ask Hajime to explain the incident and the sequence of events?
Then, let's start with when we split into the hospital team and motel team because of the despair disease. The hospital team consisted of Nagito, Ibuki, and Akane, who were infected, and Mikan, Fuyuhiko, and me.
The other 5 in the motel team were myself, Gundam, Kazuichi, Chiaki, and Hyoko.
Spending the night at the hospital was prohibited, so Hajime and I had to sleep at our cottages.
I woke up at my cottage on the day the incident happened. Mikan came by to wake me up and told me that Nagito had recovered from his symptoms. We immediately headed over to the hospital, and after we confirmed his recovery, I made Mikan rest in the on-call room since she hadn't slept all night, while I waited in the hospital lobby. And then, I saw the incoming signal light on the surveillance camera blinking before our scheduled time. When I pressed the button to turn on the monitor, what appeared on screen was a video of someone wearing a hospital gown and a hemp bag on their head, climbing a stepladder.
Amazing! That's such a heart-pounding story! And then what did you do, Hajime?
I tried to stop them, of course. I rushed out of the hospital and ran to where the video was being recorded, the music venue. But it was too late. By the time I arrived, the person wearing the hemp bag on their head was already hanging from the ceiling. I thought I should tell the others right away, so I headed to the motel.
Why the motel?
Because it was close to the music venue, and unlike the hospital, there were more able-bodied people there. At least, that's what I thought. But the only person who came with me was Chiaki.
But I remember feeling a little relieved because not long after, we met up with Mikan and Fuyuhiko.
We were also looking for Ibuki since she disappeared from our sight.
After I rested for a bit, I started counting everyone at the hospital. And then I noticed Ibuki was gone. So I sprinted out of the hospital. Coincidentally, I ran into Fuyuhiko. So I pled with him in various ways to see if he could help me out.
Various ways?
Don't say it like that and confuse people.
Yeah.
After I heard from those two that Ibuki disappeared, I had a feeling she was the person wearing the hemp bag. So I immediately led them to the music venue.
But the door wouldn't open. Since we had no other option, the four of us broke down the door. And when that happened, we didn't just find Ibuki's body. We also found Hyoko's.
I guess there's no rule against breaking down doors in this version, in this game.
And not just that. Her body was taped to a pillar.
Yeah. You know, I was thinking it might be Mikan, because she would have had the means and the opportunity to do so, but when I think about it, I don't think she could have let everyone there and still taped up Hiyoko like that.
That's when we heard the
We'll
body
see.
discovery announcement. Not once, but twice in a row.
And so we decided to lower the hanged body, didn't we?
When we removed the hemp bag, just as we feared, it was Ibuki.
So that's how the case played out. Thank you. I understood it very easily.
Well, it's clear what the problem with this case is. When Hajime left the music venue, who...
Wait, how do I know anything Hajime just said is true? Sorry, I'm only being impartial right now. The story I just heard is clearly suspicious. Hajime, if you're the only one who saw the hanging video, and the first one to discover Ibuki's body, then you could be lying as much as you want right now, right?
Lie? Why would I lie?
Obviously. So you could make us ignore what might be an inconvenient truth for you. Do you doubt me? If you're not lying, I would like you to prove it. Come on, try to prove it to me. Prove you're not the killer.
Yeah. It's just as Kazuichi said, Nikita's accounting will just confuse us and make matters worse. I shouldn't have explained it to Nikito. I'm in trouble now thanks to that.
Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
If Hajime's testimony is a lie, and the fact that Ibuki hung herself...
That would also be a lie.
I don't think I can deny that possibility. After all, Hajime's the only witness.
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously because he's the killer.
Did Hajime kill both of them?
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie means it probably is Hajime's fault.
Oh wait. I'm killing a contradiction somewhere. And I think I
Hajime's
know
testimony is clearly suspicious.
If Hajime's testimony is a lie, then the fact that Ibuki hung herself...
That would also be a lie.
I don't think I can deny that possibility. After all, Hajime's the only witness.
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously because he's the killer.
Did Hajime kill both of them?
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie means it probably is Hajime's fault. Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
If Hajime's testimony is a lie, then the fact that Ibuki hung herself...
That would also be a lie.
I don't think I can deny that possibility. After all, Hajime's the only witness.
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously because he's the killer.
Did Hajime kill both of them?
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie.
There we
No,
go.
that's wrong.
That's why nobody lets you investigate
I'm not the killer.
Don't want you
I mean,
to-
there's no way I'd be able to imitate that movie.
Of course you're not. I already knew that.
Huh?
Before the incident, Hajime had never watched that movie. His invitation ticket is proof of that.
I hate you very much, Nagito.
Each person only received one ticket, and they're marked with a stamp that shows the date and time. Isn't that right, Monokuma?
Yes, no mistakes there.
Which means there's no way Hajime, who never saw the movie, could commit murders that imitated it. Or did anyone tell him what happens in the movie? Of course no one did, right?
Hold on a sec! You're the one who brought this up in the first place!
Nagito, what are you doing?
Well, since we're opening with your witness testimony, I thought we should solidify the foundation. It also provides a good warm-up.
What warm-up? This isn't a game, you know.
Don't get mad. I just think warming up is really important.
I really
since
don't
this
like
isn't
you,
a game.
Nagito.
What a waste of time. Well, I knew it would turn out like this anyway.
And I really like you, Chiaki.
Now then, since we know Hajime's testimony is reliable, let us move on to the arguments.
So this means Ibuki definitely climbed the stepladder all by herself, right?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Then that seals it! Ibuki committed suicide!
If Ibuki committed suicide, then who killed Hiyoko?
A murder coincidentally occurring in the same place as a suicide. Ain't possible, huh?
Like I said before, it's pretty clear what the problem with this case is. The killer murdered Hiyoko while Hajime was gone. So all we gotta do is establish who could have possibly done that.
Then let's ask Hajime. How long would you say you were away from the music venue?
I couldn't have been gone for more than 10 minutes.
So they killed Hiyoko and taped her up within 10 minutes? There's no way that's possible.
That's why the killer stalled for time by making the music venue a closed room.
What do you mean, a closed room?
Oh yeah, and wasn't Mikan with them when they got to the closed venue, unless there's some way out?
The killer blocked the venue door from the inside to try and keep us from entering right away.
However, that door is the only entrance to the music venue, right? If they blocked the door from the inside, the killer would not have been able to leave either.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Which means, when we broke down the venue door, the killer was still inside.
They were?
If that's the case, the only suspicious people are those who don't have an alibi for that time. And that's you two! Sonia and Kazuichi!
Me too?
What the hell? Why's it gotta be us?
The others all have alibis. Chiaki, Mikan, Hajime, and I all broke down the venue door together. Gundam met up with Hajime at the motel right before that. And if Akane and Nagito were laid up in the hospital, the only person that leaves is one of you.
There's another person who doesn't have an alibi. You know, Nekomaru.
He's not wrong.
Me too!
Hey, why are you talking like... Huh? You're kidding, right? You're not up to something weird, are you?
Please stop making bad jokes.
Anyway, if the killer was hiding inside the venue, we should obviously doubt the people who don't have alibis.
What a wicked way of backing us into a wall! Is this his professional skill?
Hiyoko obviously thinks so, but not really yet.
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside, they tried to keep us from getting in.
Ah, dang.
It seems they were trying to stall for time.
How did they lock the door? That door should not have had a lock.
The lock was on the floor in front of the door.
Are you talking about the broken drumstick?
You can use that as a bolt to lock the door. By doing that, the killer who was hiding inside waited till we gathered together, then suddenly appeared.
So they look like they had just rushed over.
I have seen this in serial crime dramas.
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside, they tried to keep us from getting in.
It seems they were trying to...
Let me see what we got here. Oh, I think I know,
to stall
actually.
for time.
How did they lock the door? That door should not have had a lock.
The lock was on the floor in front of the door.
Are you talking about the broken drumstick?
You can use that as a bolt to lock the door. By doing that, the killer who was hiding inside waited till we gathered together and suddenly appeared.
So they look like they had just rushed over.
I have seen this in serial crime dramas.
No, I don't see a place that's a contradiction.
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside. No, that's wrong!
Here we go.
Hold on a sec. There's also a possibility that the door was locked from the outside.
From the outside? How?
There was a semi-transparent glob stuck to the venue door. Maybe that's what they used.
Semi-transparent glob? Like rubber, maybe?
Probably.
I see!
Semi-transparent glob. Must have been glue.
Glue?
Yeah, I think so too. It had a firm, gel-like chewiness, and I could smell workshop chemicals the moment I put it in my mouth. Based on all that, I'm certain it was glue.
I didn't know glue was edible.
I believe it is not something one typically eats.
That glue was only applied to the areas where both doors touched. By pouring it in the gaps of the closed door, it must have sealed the venue door from the outside.
Okay, so that goes Mikan.
And thanks to that, a glob of glue was left where the door was stuck. Yep, it fits perfectly. But if you just stick them together with glue, you'd be able to break down the door easily, you know? That doesn't really matter. The killer only did that to make us think the door was locked from the inside.
What'd you say?
First of all, didn't that drumstick we found seem really obvious? Almost unnaturally so? It was so obvious that it makes more sense to think the killer placed it as a diversion.
Are you saying the drumstick was a trap the killer set on purpose? Then I totally fell for that fucking trap.
Apologize to Miss Sonia. And me. However, you're not allowed to slice open your stomach this time.
In a quarrel, both sides are to blame.
So, during the 10 minutes Hajime left the venue, the killer murdered Hiyoko and created a closed space?
And they also taped her up after killing her, right?
Even quick work has limits.
Aww, what unimaginable speed for a slowpoke like me.
If they couldn't have done it while Hajime was away from the venue, they must have done it earlier than that.
But when Hajime got to the venue, only Ibuki's body was there, right?
And when you went back with everyone else, Hiyoko's body was there too, right? But it's possible that the body was just revealed at that time, when Hiyoko was actually killed earlier.
Just revealed?
Of course, the body wasn't revealed on its own. The killer did that too. Here, I have proof.
That scrap of paper. Is that what we found in the baton lighting at the music venue?
That's right, but just what is this scrap anyway?
That scrap is stuck on the baton lighting in the music venue. Now, I should be able to figure out what it is. Oh boy, this again. I don't know what it is. I don't know. How you're expected to... Ah, dang, I didn't mean to do that. I don't know how you're supposed to... Dang, I need that. Ah, dang, I should've...
I got it!
Yeah, I don't think it's improved. I don't see how you're supposed to get a no hit.
Isn't it part of the wall?
Unless you have it all the way down to easy.
In the music venue
Well, I
storage,
just...
there should have been black wallpaper that's the same color as that scrap.
You do it like once for every, like... Once or twice for like every 8 hours or 5 hours of gameplay.
There was also a tear along the edge of the wallpaper, wasn't there? If so...
Right. You overlay the scrap that was caught on the lighting, tear in the wallpaper. See? It fits perfectly.
I see. So the scrap that was caught on the baton lighting was originally part of the wallpaper.
And what's wrong with that? Does it have something to do with Hyoko's body disappearing?
A mere nobody like me isn't important enough to answer that.
Shut up, Nikito.
But if you guys were exceptional enough to identify that scrap of paper, you can figure this out easily.
I just love how they're not calling him out anymore. They're just so used to his BS. Oh man, I forgot the controls for this. Story-wise, I'm enjoying this game more, but a lot of the mechanics on the class trials are annoying me. What's hidden? Oh. Yeah, I had to use the wallpaper, there wouldn't be a scrap of it, right? See, I kind of prefer the... That's one thing the Phoenix Wright series has over this, it's just... You know... When I play a game like this... Oh, dang. When I play a game like this, I want to figure out the puzzles. I don't really want to do all this... excess stuff in the middle of it. I'm gonna say they covered the pillar. Yeah, there's no way they could have hit.
It's all coming together! Got it! Hyoko's body was hidden before we found it.
But it would have taken quite a long time to tape up a hidden body.
No, the body was already taped up and the killer hid it, along with the pillar using the wallpaper.
What? They hid the pillar?
Yeah, by wrapping the wallpaper around the pillar, the killer was able to create a slightly larger pillar. So when I first discovered Ibuki's body, Hyoko's body was already there. However, because it was concealed within a slightly larger pillar, I didn't realize that at the time.
Well, that's understandable. I mean, it makes sense that you'd notice Ibuki's body right away.
So they used the baton lighting on the ceiling to hang the wallpaper?
I just love how Terror's X is a knife and fork. I don't know if I've mentioned that before.
The baton lighting forms a perfect circle around the pillar, so using it to hang the wallpaper totally fits.
Then, the reason the wallpaper was covered in so many stickers was to make it look like that pillar.
That's how they hid Hyoko's body, and then peeled off the wallpaper as soon as I left the music venue.
But the killer made a mistake. They accidentally ripped off a piece of the wallpaper. And because of that, a scrap was left on the baton lighting.
The killer must have been in a hurry. Their plan took too long. Hajime could have walked in on them.
But going to the trouble of hiding the body and the pillar is very bold and risky.
But the crime itself would be much easier to pull off since they don't have much to do while Hajime's gone. They just have to peel off that wallpaper and stash it in the storage room. It's not that big of a deal.
Then, when was Hyoko actually killed?
Good point. And on that note, it's about time we shed some light on those imitation murders.
You mentioned imitation murder more than once. But what is that?
Are you kidding me? You haven't seen my masterpiece? The Wizard of Monami 2.5D?
Hey! Don't put my likeness in your movies without my permission.
You're pretty noisy for someone who eats mothballs.
I don't eat mothballs. I just enjoy looking at them. I knew it. There are so many similarities. It must have been intentional.
Ibuki's death by hanging matches the Scarecrow's death from the movie.
Okay.
Not just that, but Hyoko getting taped up after her death matches the lion's death.
Okay, what I'm thinking is Ibuki was highly susceptible to suggestion. So maybe she somehow saw the movie, or Monokuma made sure she saw the movie and got her to do the killing and then kill herself. I don't
It's
know.
as if both crimes were replicas of scenes from the movie, although the mutilated Tin Man was omitted.
Yeah, I'm just
But why did the
spitballing.
killer go to all this trouble in the first place?
Based on what we know, the reason the killer chose these imitations isn't that difficult to figure out.
I see! The reason the killer imitated two of the murders from the movie was so he'd mix up the killing order.
Then, Hyoko was actually killed before Ibuki?
A valid line of reasoning.
Yeah, it's valid. The condition of Ibuki's body suggests that as well.
What do you mean? If you're going to cry and beg like that, then I guess I'll hear about the condition of Ibuki's body.
I'm not even crying.
I'll let you sob as much as you want later. Just hurry up and tell me before I change my mind.
What a jerk!
Oh, I see. You want me to explain it to you, right? Because you don't understand what I'm saying, right?
An even bigger jerk? Impossible!
Look, Ibuki died because she hanged herself, right? That means when she was still alive, her feet were touching the floor.
What's wrong with that?
But it seems Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was killed. That would mean Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki.
How right. Your words are so light as the sylph's feather. Your opponent is out of your league. It is too absurd to try to perplex me so inadequately.
Man, he's being annoying again.
First and foremost, you claim Ibuki's feet were touching the floor when Hiyoko was killed. How can a low-class creature with no psychic abilities like you know something like that?
Because she had blood
Because
stains
she
on the
was
bottom
doing
of her
something
feet.
that's only possible if her feet were on the floor.
It seems you suffer from a pathetic delusion.
You're one to talk.
When Hiyoko died, Ibuki's feet were on the floor.
I am telling you to present your evidence.
Did you see her walking?
If her feet were on the floor, was there any sign she stepped on something?
Were there even any footprints at the crime scene?
Maybe her feet were on the floor.
And that's why
But she was like
and that's
sitting
why
or
the blood
something.
stain had to be cleaned up because it had her footprints on it.
So instead, there'd be a mark on her ass.
Weak, I say! It doesn't even pierce my heart!
Dang, that was some bad shooting.
When Hiyoko died,
Wait, it's blood on the souls is on. Yeah, Ibuki's.
Ibuki's feet were on the floor.
I am telling you to present your evidence!
Did you see her walking?
If her feet were on the floor, was there any sign she stepped on something?
Were there even any footprints at the crime scene?
Maybe her feet were on the floor.
Oh well.
But she was like sitting or something.
I need to get 100 of these for
So instead, there'd be a mark on her ass.
Weak, I say! It doesn't even pierce my heart!
When Hiyoko died, Ibuki's feet were on the floor.
I am telling you to present your evidence!
Did you see her walking?
If her feet were on the floor, was there any sign she stepped...
I agree with that.
Okay, there we go.
Just as Sonia said, Ibuki stepped on something. That something was blood. There were faint bloodstains on the soles of her...
That is not Ibuki's blood, right? She suffered no external injuries.
Then it's Hiyoko's blood!
Hyoko's only wound was a fatal slice on her neck. And she died almost instantly, right?
If Ibuki stepped on her blood...
It means Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was mortally wounded. Which means Ibuki was still alive at the exact moment Hiyoko was killed.
Don't underestimate the power of the evil eye!
Oh boy, he's arguing the most. Oh, Gundam, did you kill him?
Is that it? A shepherd dressed in his Sunday's finest still reeks of lamb, Hajime Hinata.
Does that mean you have a rebuttal?
Does that mean you have a rebuttal? It's a good line. But are you sure you're sure? If I show you how serious I am, this world might be destroyed, you know. You're so frightened you can't even make a sound. It seems you've realized our difference in status. However, the time for conviction starts now. You better entertain me to the fullest.
And now let's see if I can even remember how to do this.
You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged to... Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no... You can't step on blood that was never there. Just about... See a nice nightmare? You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged to impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood on the floor. You can't step on blood that... Just about to see a nice nightmare. You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet. Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood. You can't step on blood that...
Well, I used it.
Just about 1 minute. You can see a nice nightmare. You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood. You can't step on blood that was never there.
Okay, wait, what button is it that you use the...
See a nice nightmare.
I'm pressing the wrong button somehow. Fire Truth Blade. Okay, yeah, I'm pressing that button.
You're saying the blood on Ibuki... impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood on the floor.
Allow me to cut through those words! That's not it. The reason there was no blood on the floor is because the killer wiped it away afterward.
Don't say such foolish things! You don't have proof of that at all!
Yes, I do. If you look closely, there's a streak on the floor where blood was wiped away.
When the killer tried to hide Hyoko's body, they probably cleaned the blood at the same time, but Ibuki must have already stepped in it, and the killer probably didn't even realize it.
The reason they wiped off the blood on the floor was so we'd mix up the order of the murders, right? Even if they're able to hide Hyoko's body, it'd be bad if her blood was...
Plus, Ibuki's body was left out in the open, and it wasn't bleeding from any open wounds at all.
Hyoko's body was probably wrapped in duct tape to stop her bleeding. Actually, the bleeding will stop once the heart stops beating, so I don't think they had to go that far. Aside from Mikon, none of us were aware of that fact.
Maybe the heater was running inside the music venue so it would screw with Mikon's autopsy?
That's right! I didn't know the time of death because of the heater!
The time of death wasn't mentioned in the Monokuma file just to keep concrete evidence from us.
Yep. Since we have all this evidence, there's no one else who wants to object. Then it's decided. Hyoko was killed before Ibuki.
It appears that it is wiser to retreat for now. Fine then. But regardless of good or evil, there's no deceit in upholding one's convictions.
Can't you just shut up and back off?
Now then, let us resume our debate.
Wait a sec. There's something I want to run by Monokuma first.
Huh? Again? Didn't something like this happen last time, too?
Well, yeah, but it was a key piece of evidence, so let's hear him out.
Hey, if the victim actually committed suicide, what are we supposed to do?
Huh? Suicide?
The same as always. You have to vote for who the killer is. Think about it. A suicide means you've killed the most important existence of all, yourself. Unfortunately, that means there's no Blacken to punish, but I guess in a pinch, I can always punish Monami.
Why me?
Nagito? What do you mean? If the victim actually committed suicide?
Well, I mean, I understand Hyoko's death, but I'm wondering if Ibuki was really murdered. For example, it's possible Ibuki killed Hyoko, and then committed suicide due to a guilty conscience, right?
Yeah, but then who would take down that wallpaper?
That's totally impossible! Then she never would have killed her to begin with!
She was afflicted by the despair disease, remember? That means anything can happen.
But if Ibuki's the killer, she wouldn't have been able to falsify the sequence of the murders, right? After Hajime saw the hanged body, the killer had to be alive at that time.
Then she was alive! When Hajime first discovered Ibuki, she was just pretending to be dead.
Was that
If
possible?
she waited until Hajime left, that's when she could have made her move and mess with the crime scene.
She hanged herself! Remember? There's no fucking way she could have faked that!
And if she was going to fake her death, I think she wouldn't have chosen hanging. Her body would have been defenseless in that state. If anyone touched her, that alone would have ruined her plan.
There's no doubt that someone killed those two.
What the heck?
If Ibuki didn't commit suicide, then just what was that video Hajime saw? According to that video you saw, Ibuki was by herself when she climbed the stepladder, right?
Okay.
Then does that mean someone forced her to do it?
Okay, like, it's know that the stepladder was knocked over, so maybe someone tricked her into climbing up there blinded, and then kicked it over.
Forced? Perhaps they used hypnotism or something?
And this fell again. I'm pretty sure the X over Ibuki's face are a pair of drumsticks.
I don't know anything about that.
Don't say it all proud.
Putting that aside, it seems obvious that the killer did something. So, maybe we should figure out who was able to do whatever that was.
So, an alibi. Then our plan is to destroy the weakest alibi. Since Hajime has seen the video, it is clear what time the crime took place.
But just to be sure, that surveillance camera doesn't have a record function, right?
It's a cheap-ass surveillance camera, you know? There's no way it'd have some kind of sweet recording feature.
It could have Kazuichi's the killer and he's lying.
Then, the video Hajime saw was actually right?
What time did Hajime see that video?
I saw it at the hospital, right before Monokuma's morning announcement. And I saw the body at the music venue a little after Monokuma's announcement.
So Ibuki hanged herself right before Monokuma's announcement.
You might be right.
And since we established that Hyoko was killed before Ibuki...
I'm gonna check Ibuki. I'm looking at it up close and it looks like just a regular
That
X.
means the time that the murders occurred was before and during the announcement.
Maybe it is. I'm gonna look that up after we're done.
Find the person who doesn't have an alibi during that time?
Now then, I shall issue my decree. Let Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi commence.
Oh boy, all these accounts.
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has failed.
Mercifully, I'm before and during the morning announcement.
We can exclude...
Okay, let's see where all these accounts are. Right up until the morning Monokuma announced that morning, Monokuma was with Jimmy the whole time. After she went to the hospital and
Exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was
showing his account.
totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has failed.
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has failed!
We can
I guess is it Mikan's account
exclude
on
the sick people like me and Akane, right?
Nobody has an alibi?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
That's the
I
only thing I
think
can
everyone
think
at the
of.
motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then
Oh dang, that wasn't it, no.
Crap! We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally
Oh, wait,
sleeping
no,
in my
looks like
motel room.
Sonia's not me.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
No.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was
That's the
supposed to
right
be,
one.
my own
That's
cottage.
That's not an alibi.
aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then
No, that's wrong.
I was right. I just had the wrong truth bullet loaded.
Hold on. Not all of us are missing an alibi. In fact, Mikan and I both have alibis.
you two have alibis?
Up until I saw that hanging video, Mikan and I were actually together for a while.
We even woke up together that morning.
Mikan, think through what you're saying.
Hey, what kind of situation is that?
Don't sound so happy about it.
Too much info.
Yeah, it's not like that.
Yeah, I
Kim
bet
told me
Chiaki's
Nagito's
too
condition
happy
had
about
improved.
that.
And we went to the hospital together afterward. So we were together until right before the announcement.
I get it. You guys have alibis.
If that's the case, the killer must be someone else.
It's better if we think about it like that. The killer decided to falsify the murder sequence to hide the actual time of the crime anyway.
So it's inevitable that an alibi for both before and during the morning announcement would be very important.
It feels like Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has backed us into a corner instead.
But committing an imitation murder, is that really all it was? Faking the time the crime occurred by falsifying the murder sequence, hiding their alibi in the process? Was that the only reason the killer made both bodies imitate the movie?
Are you saying there was another reason?
I feel really bad for confusing you guys so much, but that's how I feel. I think the killer had a completely different reason for falsifying the murder sequence.
Feel like a different reason? If that's the case, are we still in the killer's trap? If so, then whose and what kind of trap is it? Yeah. Okay, Ibuki didn't kill herself.
Hiya!
Why, hello there, Monomi. The mothball sure look tasty today.
Stop it!
Don't characterize me as someone who lives off of mothballs. And here's some chance time. What's that? It's something that destroys friendships, Monomi. Yeah, it's no wonder Monokuma likes him so much. Now then, Monomi's appeal time starts now. Huh? Appeal time? Your kind-hearted big brother's gonna give you a chance to reclaim your honor. Good luck! Tell those jerks who treat you like a redhead stepchild who's boss. That's 99% your fault. Well, you're running your time's already running out, so please make your appeal simple. Appeal simple. About 30,000 words or so. That's too long. It'll just be a boring appeal. Come on, if your appeal's successful, there might be merchandising opportunities heading your way. Then I'm Usami, magical miracle girl star Usami. I'm an itty-bitty girl who's sweet like milk. Jeez, I thought Certain Robot's little sister was supposed to be the best.
What a disappointment!
Once again, I've been put in such an unreasonable situation.
Okay, Amber's Fall Gun. Hajime saw the video alone, so anybody could have acted out the fake Ibuki suicide video. If we can take it, Kazuichi has word that there's no record function, huh? Ooh. If it was done, the upstairs. Oh wow. Oh no.
Seriously, he's like the king of unreasonableness. Why did it turn out like this? We were supposed to have a fun, friendly school trip, but it turned out all bloody instead. No! This definitely cannot be allowed. That's why I want you to remember this. Everyone, do your very best. Don't lose to yourself. And don't forget to save frequently.
The reason is a reason other than falsifying the murder sequence.
Huh. It suddenly... Did I confuse you? If so, I wish I could die from self-loathing.
Man, this again.
If that's the case, it would have been just dandy if they had... If that happened, the imitation would have been perfect. So why didn't they do that?
Well, it's against the rules to kill 3 people in the first place.
That rule is too harsh. I couldn't get killed because of that.
Seriously, just shut up already! Shut up forever!
See, the thing is, no one's gonna kill you because you're doing everything in your power to make the cases harder to solve.
But I'm thinking about it again, and he's totally right. It feels incomplete.
Because they didn't kill 3 people like the movie did? That's only because of Monokuma's rule.
It's not just that. Come on, try to remember the content of the movie. About the lion that got killed second.
That's the one Hyoko's body was imitating, right?
Even though we're calling it an imitation, the lion was actually pinned by arrows, right? But Hyoko's body was suspended by common household duct tape.
Maybe they just used a common substitute because it was too difficult to imitate the arrows.
Well, that's probably it, but that attitude is what makes this feel incomplete.
Nekomaru's dead, isn't he?
If falsifying the murder sequence was the killer's plan from the very beginning, they should have taken steps to properly imitate it.
But if we never realized it was a half-assed imitation, their entire plan would have been completely useless.
What are you trying to say? Are you saying the imitation wasn't planned?
I'm saying Hyoko's murder wasn't.
What?
Hyoko's murder wasn't planned?
I understand that imitation wasn't...
It's not just the poor imitation. There are also other strange details.
Strange details? Like what?
Like, for example, why did Hyoko go to the music venue?
So, you're saying the truth behind Hyoko's murder is hidden?
I have no freaking clue what you're trying to say.
However, this is getting quite interesting. My 4 dark devas of destruction are getting riled up.
Why Hyoko went to the music venue, if that's the key to all this. And find it out no matter the cost.
Why did Hyoko go to the music venue?
Doesn't Sonia told her to?
Know that.
Maybe the killer summoned her.
If that's not it, maybe she got abducted by the killer.
No, maybe. She went of her own free will.
Or she was guided by the will of causality.
Why did Kyoko go to the music menu?
Well... yeah, the motel room cute says she went there of her own free will.
Maybe the killer summoned her.
If that's not it, maybe she got abducted by the killer.
Because she had her key on her
No,
and she was
maybe.
planning to leave.
She went of her own free will.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
It's just as Sonia said. She went to the music venue of her own free will.
So, exactly as I assumed.
If no one called for her, then why did she go?
Yoko locked herself in her room because she was being overly cautious of the despair disease, you know? I don't think a person like that would leave their room just because someone called for them.
There's no way she got abducted?
Kyoko locked the room she was staying in before she went out.
If she was forcibly taken from her room, there's no way she would have had time to lock it.
The killer could have locked her door, right? Just to hide the fact Hiyoko got abducted.
Then they couldn't have hidden her room key that deep in her kimono. They would have put it somewhere more obvious. Otherwise, there's no point in messing with the crime scene if nobody finds the key. At the time, you were the one who actually took out the key, right? Then something like that.
I won't lose! Are you saying my gut was wrong? This could be my first and last highlight of the day. Why won't you just let me shine already?
Because if you're wrong, we die.
No! That's not the issue.
Shut up! Enough with your fancy talk. I'll shut you up right now. Hiyoko was locked inside her room, right? She definitely got abducted or something. The killer forced their way into Hiyoko's room and forcibly abducted her. The girl is so small and weak-looking, and that's why the killer targeted her.
Geez, what was up with that?
Hiyoko was locked inside her room. She definitely got abducted or something. The killer forced their way into Hiyoko's room and forcibly abducted her. The girl is so small and weak-looking, and that's why the killer targeted her.
But Hiyoko's room was locked. The key was deep inside her kimono, remember? It's more likely that Hiyoko locked the door herself.
The killer was the one who locked the door. So what if the key was in her kimono? Maybe the killer just put it there later.
There's no reason for the killer to put the key in Hiyoko's kimono. The killer probably didn't realize she even had the key.
Hold on. Try remembering Hiyoko's body. Her kimono was all messed up.
Oh, dang.
Crap! Hold on! Try remembering Hiyoko's body. Her kimono... There's only one reason her kimono would be that messed up. She fought the killer! That's the proof she was abducted, right? My gut is totally right after all! Hold on! Try remembering Hiyoko's body. Her kimono was all messed up. There's only one reason her kimono would be that messed up. She fought the killer!
Wait, no, Siona's...
That's the proof she was abducted, right? My gut is totally right after all!
They just used it too soon.
Hold on! Try remembering Hiyoko's body. Her kimono was all messed up. There's only one reason her kimono would be that messed up. She fought the killer!
Allow me to cut through those words!
Yeah.
The reason Hyoko's kimono was messed up was because she wasn't able to properly wear it.
Wear her kimono?
Yeah, it's also the reason why she decided to go out on her own.
Hyoko seemed to be really struggling with wearing her kimono. I believe that was one of the reasons she locked herself in her room. That is why I informed her. I told her that there was a full-length mirror at the music venue, and I suggested that she use it.
Oh, they're using cons to kind of
Then
Need
the
to pay more
reason her
attention
kimono
with
was
what I'm
messed up
using.
wasn't because she found the killer.
Yeah, she went to the venue on her own just to fix her messed up kimono.
I get it. I lost.
Hajime, now's your chance. Make her admit defeat.
Kazuichi
Then,
stuff.
the killer probably couldn't have assumed that Hyoko would go to the music venue.
Though that may not apply to Sonia, since she provided Hiyoko with that information.
Though I knew she would go there, there is no way I could have predicted when she would arrive.
Don't go doubting Miss Sonia, you cretin. I'll put you and your hamster 6...
Kazuichi, it seems you have quite the fashion sense. Do you want me to incinerate your clothes? Perhaps I could do that while you're wearing them.
Gundam, please stop! For his sake!
Huh? What do you mean, for my sake?
Of course. I've already overlooked no less than 10 opportunities to kill you.
Even if the killer couldn't predict it, why did Hiyoko get killed in the music venue?
I hope you live to the end, Fuyuhiko. I really like you.
The only thing I can think of is, it was an unfortunate coincidence.
Coincidence?
When she went to the venue by herself, she was probably just unlucky and walked in on the crime scene.
She was killed so there wouldn't be any loose ends?
It probably happened when the killer was preparing to kill Ibuki. The killer most likely had already placed the hemp bag over her head, and without hesitation,
killed Hiyoko.
Because the killer used that coincidence for their crime, it made this case even tricky.
That's the reason they imitated the movie to falsify the murder sequence.
Which means that low-down scoundrel didn't plan on committing imitation murders at first.
Then what was the killer actually planning to do? They've been cunning this far. Do you have any ideas?
Damn, we don't know the most important...
Hey Nagito, any ideas?
Hey, how long are you gonna stay quiet?
Oh, am I allowed to speak? I'm so happy I'm...
So what do you think?
I was thinking about it while I had my mouth shut. But now I'm finally able to come to a conclusion.
Yeah, Nagito's really annoying me. You know, I hope if he lives, he gets the help he needs, but...
Ibuki definitely didn't commit suicide.
Huh? What are you talking about?
I thought there might be a possibility that she faked her death and tampered with the crime scene. But now I remember. So if she faked her death and walked around the music venue tampering with the crime scene, there'd be bloody footprints left in... So that's why I think there's...
You know, we already finished...
That's annoying.
Are you freaking kidding me? There's no limit to how useless you can be.
Wait a minute.
That's strange. It's very strange.
This is strange.
Those footprints at some point, what we overlooked? What about footprints? Any footprints on the step ladder?
I can prove it with this! If Ibuki used the stepladder to hang herself, it's strange that there weren't any footprints on it.
Huh? There weren't?
Yeah, that stepladder was completely clean. No footprints or bloodstains at all.
Did you notice such a small detail?
Yeah, Hajime, I'm with you.
But didn't you say you saw that video of Ibuki climbing the stepladder? Then I think there's no doubt that... Unless there was something funny about that video.
I see. So there was some kind of trick arranged in that video.
But that's something only Hajime would know. since he's the only one who saw that video.
Hajime, I leave it in your hands. As long as I leave this to you, I won't tell you to do your best, but oh well. You should get started already.
Yeah, I'll definitely...
Listen. Oh man, what is strange about this? Wait. No bloodstain.
Here!
That's right, I remember now. There was definitely something strange about that video.
Can you explain it to us?
What's strange is that stepladder I mentioned earlier. It's true that the steps of that stepladder weren't dirty, but on one side, there was a bloodstain, right on the left side of the stepladder. However, there weren't any bloodstains on the stepladder in the video. It was completely clean.
Mikan.
That is truly strange. If the video showed the moment of Ibuki's death, then Hiyoko should have already been dead by that point.
It's her.
Even so, the fact is the stepladder had blood on it at the actual crime scene. But the stepladder in the video was completely bloodless.
And there's no way the video was recorded in advance.
It's possible those two stepladders were completely different.
Wait, are you saying there were two stepladders?
But where would you find another stepladder? There was only one stepladder in the music venue.
Then one of the stepladders was somewhere other than the music venue.
What do you mean?
You're suggesting that the stepladder in the That's amazing, Chiaki! All that gaming is...
What are you two talking about?
Oh, goody. Figures. I did not think that went through. Oh, finally. trying to avoid damage. Who? Ah, there we go. T. I. Filming location.
I got it! That's right. Besides the
looking more
step
and more
ladder, the filming
obvious,
location must have been different too.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I mean, the video I saw was not filmed at the music venue. It was filmed somewhere else.
But the hospital monitor is supposed to display footage captured by the music venue camera, you know?
Then, there's a possibility that the killer also tampered with the surveillance camera unit.
Some of the music video says somewhere else. Okay, good. I thought I was gonna have to do another Hangman's Gambit. Well, since the blue one kept going, it has to be the camera. Okay. Oh, dang. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see what's gonna happen next. Like, all the colors just bleed together.
All coming together.
Okay, sorry for being quiet there, but
That's it. The killer just brought the camera from the music video. With it, they made me think it was a live feed from the venue, when it was actually from somewhere.
Then only the monitor was left in the music venue?
Yes, at least when I first discovered Ibuki's body. But when Hyoko's body appeared, the killer...
That means you should have realized that from the start and made this easier on all of us.
He did discover the body. I doubt his attention was focused on the camera.
Well, that's true, but... in order to hide that the camera was missing, the killer did it. I see! The killer smashed the monitor to pieces, destroyed... As long as it was in pieces, you wouldn't be able to tell if the camera was actually... My attention was so focused on the body that even I couldn't have noticed something like that.
And the moment Hajime left the music venue, the killer put...
And they destroyed it and left that in pieces as well.
It's easy to say it was filmed somewhere else, but the surveillance camera's connection wasn't that strong.
Despite Kazuichi's desperate repair efforts, it seems it could not transmit from the hospital to the motel.
The fact that it was able to connect between the hospital and the music venue is amazing enough.
I wish you could, like... Okay, come on, give me an O. Oh, no, that's not what I meant. Dang. Trust me to miss a shot like that. I just need an in, yes. In. Come on. Yes. Okay. That's good. Now I need an E. There we go. E. Now we need an R, ironically enough. Ah, dang. Oh wait, I needed an R. What was I thinking? Okay, there we go. R. Oh, that one just wasn't. Well, that just wasn't fair. Room. No. Room.
I got it!
I hope that's the last one.
Possible that it was
In
filmed
this
at the
trial.
hospital's conference room.
Huh? The conference room?
But the hospital and the music venue look completely different.
That's exactly why the killer did something to make those two places resemble each other.
Maybe the kid went and did some work. Huh.
There's no way the conference room and the music venue look the same.
Which place resembled the other? Did the conference room look like the music venue? Or did the music venue look like the conference room?
Or did they make some kind of set?
Oh no, that's not what it was. Dang.
Damn it! There's There's no way the conference
That's
room
what I
music
keep
venue looked this.
Which
going
place
off that
resembled
list
the
and
other?
all the choices.
Did the conference room look like the music venue? Or did the music venue look like the conference room?
Or did they make some kind of set?
He might have tampered with the camera.
I still can't believe he mixed up the filming locations. Hajime, you're pretty stupid.
There's no way the conference room and the music venue look the same.
Which place resembled the other? Did the conference room look like the music venue? Or did the music venue look like the conference room?
Or did they make some kind of set?
He might have tampered with the camera.
I still can't believe he mixed up. Hajime, you're pretty stupid.
There's no way the music venue look.
Which place resembled the other? Did the conference room look like the music venue? Or did the music venue look like the conference room?
Or did they make some kind of set?
He might have tampered with the camera.
I still can't believe he mixed up the filming location. Hajime, you're pretty stupid.
There's no way the music venue look this.
Which place resembled the other? Did the conference room look like the music venue?
There's no way the conference room and the music venue look the same.
Which place resembled the other? Did the conference room look like the music venue? Or did the music venue look like the conference room?
Or did they make some kind of set?
He might have tampered with the camera.
I still can't believe he mixed up the filming location. Hajime, you're pretty stupid.
There's no way the conference room and the music venue look the same.
Which place resembled the other? Did the conference room look like the music venue? Or did the music venue look like the conference room?
That must be it.
I don't think
What the killer did was make the music venue, the crime scene, look like the conference room. They did that by using the black curtain hanging at the back of the stage.
From what I remember, there used to be a really flashy curtain. But after the incident, it somehow became a plain black curtain that
That's right! It's so half-assed, just like Monica.
Oh yeah? Well,
That curtain was hung so the music venue would look like a conference.
in actuality, even though the curtain in the conference room doesn't stand out, it is a black light blocking curtain.
I see. The conference room. The same color as... So the killer chose the conference...
Matching floors, matching curtains. I guess it makes sense with mistake or two.
But that's not all. There should be something else the killer did to tamper with the evidence. Probably.
music video, conference room. What? Is it the candle?
I can prove it with this.
Yes, it
You're
was.
referring to the candle in the music venue, right? In the video I saw, a candle was used for lighting. If you think about it, it's pretty strange. The music venue has good lighting, so there's no reason to even use candlelight.
But wouldn't they have done it to make it feel creepier?
That might have been another reason, but the main reason was probably to tamper with evidence. The lighting in the conference room and the music venue are so different. They couldn't be used during filming. That's why the killer used a candle as film lighting instead.
Which means... Are you saying the candle in the music venue wasn't actually used?
That candle was likely placed there just to make me think it was the same candle that was used in the video.
With candlelight, you can't see things in that much detail. Maybe they were going for that effect. With that cheap-ass camera, it won't capture much in a dark area.
As long as this all matches up, it should be no problem to say this is decided. The video I saw wasn't filmed at the music venue. It was actually filmed at the hospital conference room.
If I'd found proof that evidence in the conference room was altered, we would have reached an answer sooner. But it appears the killer already covered that up, so I didn't find anything when I went there.
But there's no mistake.
Yeah.
That's the only place within the connection range of the surveillance camera.
The motel would have been too far, and the interior design of the movie theater is too distinctive.
But this must be a surprising turn of events for Hajime. You never suspected that the video you saw in the hospital was being filmed in the conference room.
I don't like this.
The incident isn't happening at the scene of a crime. It's occurring in the conference room.
I feel like I've heard Bayside Cops say that before, but isn't it the other way around?
If Ibuki's hanging video was filmed at the hospital's conference room, then was Ibuki killed at the conference room too?
No, that's not possible. Right after Hajime saw that video, he discovered Ibuki's body at the music venue.
Which means...
I see!
Yeah, pretty obvious.
The person wearing the hint bag in that video wasn't Ibuki. It was the killer pretending to be Ibuki.
Yeah, I see we got some extra viewers. I see I have here. Unfortunately, a spoiler troll came in and bothered me, so we got followers only on right now.
The killer put on a hospital gown, wore a hint bag on their head, and was only pretending to be the victim.
By that time, the real Ibuki must have already been killed.
The actual time of death must have been earlier. Probably around midnight or dawn to avoid witnesses.
If they took Ibuki from the music venue to the hospital to kill her, there's no way it happened during the day.
And then the one who said
But why did the killer go to the trouble of making a fake video just so Hajime could go to the crime scene?
The reason the killer made a fake video... There's only one possibility I can think of. If I examine that possibility thoroughly, then naturally the killer's identity will reveal itself.
Huh?
You fiend! Are you saying you already know who the killer is?
I should already know. Why, Mikan? Why'd you do it?
You're the only one!
I liked you.
You're the killer, aren't you?
What are you talking about?
Like I said, aren't you the killer who murdered Ibuki and Hyoko?
Killer? Huh? I'm the killer? What is this?
Hey, don't you think that's kinda impossible? A chick like her as the killer? She couldn't even kill a fly. In fact, the fly would probably kill her first.
She's right! A clumsy slowpoke like me killing someone?
But we're the only ones. Thanks to that video, we're the only ones who have the advantage of an alibi.
An alibi? Was that the killer's goal?
Now that you mention it, you guys brought that up earlier. Only Hajime and Mikan have an alibi.
It's just a coincidence!
But you're the only one who could have filmed that video in the hospital conference room. Is that also a coincidence?
He's the on-call room upstairs. So there's very few rocks in the lobby. Oh, wow.
At that time, you said you were going to the on-call room. But That's when you put on a hospital gown that you prepared in advance, put the bag on your head, and began filming. By doing that, you made up a video that showed Ibuki trying to hang herself at the music video. And showed that to me.
Disease.
Furthermore, I saw that video at the hospital lobby. If someone wants to go to the conference room from outside, they have to pass through the lobby.
So it's impossible that someone who wasn't already in the hospital went to the conference room to film.
Not only that, the others in the hospital, Kane and I, were both delirious from the despair disease.
So that must mean...
Please, wait a second! What are you saying? I'm the killer? That's impossible! There's no way I could kill someone!
It's not literally impossible. Can't you give a...
Just shows she can't even do that.
Hey, you sure this chick is really the killer?
Wrong! It's totally wrong! It's not what you think!
Just like Akane said, it is really hard to tie it all together. I mean, Mikan is the killer?
I agree. It is truly difficult to believe someone could be killed by such a slow-witted woman.
That slow-witted remark is not necessary.
It's fine. In a tournament for social punching bags, I'd easily win first place with my soft reputation. Even I can't deny that. How many times do I have to tell you? It's impossible for me to kill someone. I'm serious. Very serious.
What do you say, Hajime?
Do you still believe this woman is the killer?
Hey, Hajime!
Hey, what? I'm the one making the mistake. I spent so much time.
Can you hold on a minute?
Huh?
Well, I know I'm being intrusive and all, and I mean, I have no place to say this. I missed all of the critical parts, and
What are you saying?
But still, I thought it was suspicious all along, from the very beginning. Investigating with the suspect in mind creates a different result than
I'm like so tired to get out. I want to skip all this dialogue.
Hey, what are you trying to say?
Well, thanks to that, I was able to discover a truth that nobody else knows.
Are you serious?
I've been so focused on everybody else in this trial, but I guess now's a good time to say it, right?
You better not have kept quiet on purpose. This isn't a game, you know.
Actually, this is a game.
Please don't say such controversial statements.
Well, what do you know, Nagito?
Well, it's nothing big, really. Only a small, decisive clue that points to the killer.
Dang, that's a huge deal!
A decisive clue.
Does she even remember doing it? Like,
You really exist?
I remember Akane and Nagito didn't remember much after.
Let's take a look, shall we? Regarding the rope Ibuki was dangling from. This rope was supplied by the supermarket, right? There weren't any ropes inside the music venue.
Again with the supermarket? That place is a hotspot for criminal goods.
If they got it at the supermarket, that means it was brand new, right?
What's wrong with that?
I want you to take a close look at this rope. And keep in mind that it's brand new. Near the middle of the rope, it's frayed, as if it was rubbed strongly. But why is it like this? The loop Ibuki used to hang herself is on one end of the rope, and the part of the rope that hung from the baton lighting is on the other end.
Hey, you're taking too long. What's wrong with the rope being frayed?
It means, well, from what I can infer, I think the rope was used like this. The killer wrapped the rope around Ibuki's neck, pulled both ends at full. The center of the rope is frayed because that's the part they used to strangle Ibuki.
Press the X button too soon there.
Hold on. I've been listening to you for a while, and it sounds like you knew about this rope clue all along. What exactly did you say to me during the investigation?
So this rope won't be much of a clue. then I might as well search another place.
Not everyone cooperates at a class trial. Those who lie and conceal the truth will obviously be here too, just like this case's killer. I was just copying them a little bit.
More importantly, what was all that about the rope? The killer strangled Ibuki. And then?
And then, I finished speaking.
How is that a decisive clue?
Huh? You didn't notice it? I thought I made the decisive clue very clear.
Miguel's words contain decisive clue. Is that really true?
Ibuki didn't die from hanging. She was strangled to death.
That's basically the same thing.
Though hanging and strangling seem similar, they're very different. The scars they leave would look different too.
Scars? You mean the rope burn, right?
But we believed it was from a hanging. Why would that be?
Did we fall for someone's lie?
The body at the crime scene was hanged, you know. Obviously, we'd assume it was a hanging.
The Monokuma file complicates this too. It never specified hanging or strangulation.
Whoever misunderstood is to blame!
Ibuki didn't...
Okay, yeah, do we fall for someone's
Die from
lies?
hanging.
Yeah.
She was strangled to death.
That's basically the same thing.
Though hanging and strangling seem similar, they're very different. The scars they leave would look different too.
Scars? You mean the rope burn, right?
But we believed it was from a hanging. Why would that be?
Did we fall for someone's lie?
That must be it!
So that's what happened. We've been falling for the killer's lie this whole time.
There's something I want to ask you. There's no doubt Ibuki's death was being hanged by this rope, right? Yes, she had no other external injuries, so there's no doubt she died hanging from it. She died from hanging herself. So Ibuki died from hanging herself.
You said Ibuki hanged herself, but that was a complete lie, wasn't it, Mikan?
That is... well...
You told us the wrong cause of death. You lied, didn't you?
You should have been able to tell the difference between hanging and strangling just by looking. You, Mikan, the ultimate nurse.
Please wait! First of all, I'm not a coroner, so I don't have the medical knowledge to identify injuries like that. That's why it's not my fault if I made a mistake.
You were right. And you have been a great help to us so far.
But even a drunk medical student can notice the difference between a hanging and strangulation.
I'm not taking her side or anything, but being clumsy and unskilled in this area could lead to a mistake.
He's totally right. I'm such a...
Mikan nursed me till I got better. There's no way I'm gonna doubt her.
Don't you think her devotion to nursing is what helped her draw Ibuki to her death?
Huh?
And if not, her symptoms were still very serious and caused her to believe what anybody told her. It wouldn't surprise me if she willingly followed Mikan because she was nursing her.
So Mikan volunteered to nurse us? Because she was planning to do this all along?
That's a little... Aren't you like the thief who suspects everyone else of being thieves?
I'm not a criminal. Mikan is. I mean, she's a killer, you know.
You've got it all wrong.
I'm sorry, but there's no way I can forgive you. I just can't forgive this crime at all.
Forgiveness or not, we still have not decided if Mikan is the killer.
I see. You guys are kind. Well, if that's the choice everyone makes, then the only thing I can do is back off, I guess. But is that really okay?
You're friggin' annoying! If you keep talking, I'm seriously gonna beat you up!
I'm really not the killer. There's no way I'm capable of killing someone.
Is that really true?
Stop it already! That's enough!
I can't stop! I don't want to do this either. Of course I don't want to do this. But I need to do this.
You doubt your friends?
That's not it. I suspect them because I want to believe them.
What the hell does that mean?
I don't think belief and doubt are necessarily opposites.
Huh?
I do doubt her, but I still want to believe her. Belief lies at the heart of that conflict. 'Cause if there's no room for doubt, then there's no reason to believe, is there?
Don't say deep stuff. I don't really get it.
If you want to believe in someone, you need to overcome doubt first. Belief without doubt is simply a lie.
Fine. Do whatever you want. I won't stop you anymore.
Huh? Is that all you can say?
Huh.
Ah, so in the end, you're all just a bunch of bullies, huh? Justifying your actions with fancy words. Making excuses for why it's not really your fault.
I'm starting to get a little creeped out now.
Everyone always treats me like that. Always. It's all her fault. She's the one with the problem. I'm done with that. You hear me? I'm done.
Hey, Mikan.
It's not fair. It's not fair. 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 Why won't you forgive me? You forgive yourself right away. What did I do? Why won't anybody forgive me?
Is acting like this your strategy now? This is annoying. Plus, to be honest, I've run out of ideas. How can we get you to admit it? That's the issue.
If we don't have any clues, why don't we have her give us some? I'm the same as Hajime. I don't want to doubt any of my friends. But still, the truth is one of us murdered two of our friends. That's why. We gotta stick with this until the very end.
Chiaki.
Hey, Mikan. Can I ask you one last thing? If you're not the killer, then who fabricated that video Hajime watched?
Like I said, it obviously wasn't me.
Can you prove it?
Prove it? Wait. Do you have any proof that I'm the one who fabricated that video? That's right! Show me your proof! Because you're just assuming the video was filmed at the conference room. Treating me like a killer based on an assumption. Just because I was at the hospital. That's totally crazy! I didn't do anything wrong! Why does everybody always hate me? Please, just forgive me already!
Mikan, did you do something in your past you regret?
Is this broad really okay? She's emotionally unstable.
I'm not the killer! I never filmed that video!
It seems she finally started arguing for us. But the only one who can find the hole in her argument is you, Hajime. So, I'm going to leave this to you once again.
What are you up to, Chiaki? Why are you so interested in turning Hajime into something? Do you remember something about him that no one else does?
Why do you get to decide I'm the killer? Where's your proof?
I need to make up my mind. Somebody has to do it. I'm the one who's gonna finish this. Alright, let's see what we got here. Blood on the souls.
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody else other than you who could have filmed that video.
Do you have any proof? Is the handbag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had?
Ibuki and Mikan clearly have different body types.
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight?
There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type! So please forgive me already!
Hajime, pay close attention and listen well. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
Don't flinch, don't run away.
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody else other than... You who could have filmed that video.
Do you have any proof? Is the handbag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had?
Ibuki and Mikan clearly have different body types.
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight?
There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type! So please forgive me already!
Hajime, pay close attention and listen well.
I honestly
You're
don't
the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
I'm not the...
Yes, Mikan's account. I don't see how any of that contradicts anything she's saying.
Killer!
We can't think of anybody else other than you who could have filmed that video.
Do you have any proof? Is the handbag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Mikan clearly have different body types.
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight?
There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type! So please forgive me already!
Hajime, pay close attention and listen well. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
Oops.
I'm not the killer!
It has to be something absorbed because I don't see anything.
We can't think of anybody else other than you who could have filmed that video.
Do you have any proof? Is the handbag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Is the hospital
Ibuki and
gown?
Nikon clearly have different body.
Is that really your... You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight? There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type! So please forgive me already!
Hajime, pay close attention and listen well.
I'm honestly lost. What am I missing here? The slippers? Like...
You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
I'm not saying it. I am not saying it.
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody else other than who could have filmed that video.
Huh? Do you have any proof? Is the handbag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she wore?
Ibuki and Nikon clearly have different bodies.
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight? There's no way you'd be able to make out her body, so please forgive me already!
Hajime, pay close attention and listen well. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
I can't think of anybody else who could have filmed that video.
That's just about...
Do you have any proof? Is the handbag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she wore?
Ibuki and Nikon...
Is that really your... You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight? There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type! So please forgive me already!
Hajime, pay close attention and you're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody who could have filmed that video.
Huh? Do you have any proof? Is the handbag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing? Or could it be the hospital slippers she wore?
Ibuki and Nikon clearly...
Is that really your... You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight? There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type! So please forgive me already!
Hajime, pay close attention and listen well. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
Dang, it didn't...
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody who could have filmed that.
Do you have any proof? Is the handbag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she wore?
Ibuki and Nikon clearly...
Is that really your... You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight? There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type! So please forgive me already!
Hajime, pay close attention and listen well. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
Dang, I'm sorry. I'm playing bad tonight.
We can't think of anybody else other than you who could have filmed that video.
Do you have any proof? Is the handbag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she wore?
Ibuki and Nikon clearly...
Is that really your... You could tell her body type under the hospital just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight? There's no way you'd be able to make out her body, so please forgive me already!
Hajime, pay close attention and listen well. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
We can't think of anybody who could have filmed that.
Do you have any proof? Is the handbag on her head the proof?
Dang. No.
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody else other than you who could have filmed that video.
Do you have any proof? Is the handbag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Nikon clearly have different bodies.
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight?
There's no way you'd be able to make out her body, so please forgive me already!
Hajime, pay close attention and you're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
Then what is it? Huh.
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody else who could have filmed that video.
Do you have any proof? Is the handbag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had?
Ibuki and Nikon
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight?
I'm getting it this time.
There's no way you'd be able to make out her body!
Yeah, I might as well just kill myself now. I know what to do now.
We will never give up!
But yeah, chat's pretty much got it. And I got the trophy for all the for knocking out the
We
white
can't think of
noises.
anybody else other who could have filmed that video.
Do you have any proof? Is the handbag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or
Like
could it be the
Manaku made
hospital
clear there's
slippers she
only
had?
two
Ibuki and Nikon clearly
handbags.
have
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight?
There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type, so please forgive me already!
Hajime, pay close attention and listen well. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody who could have filmed that.
Do you have any proof? Is the handbag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had?
Ibuki and Nikon clearly...
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle?
I'll shoot through that contradiction. Nikon, you've committed a major mistake.
Mistake?
As I said before many times, I'm the only one who saw that video.
What's wrong with that?
But I never said anything about the camera angle. So how can you say anything about the camera angle as if you saw that video yourself?
The only reason Mikon knew the camera angle Hajime had seen is because you're the person who actually filmed that video. Is that right?
This is your just reward. The more desperately you argue, the deeper you dig yourself into a hole. You lied, didn't you?
You serious? Is it true, Mikon? Did you kill Hiyoko and Ibuki?
I was wrong. Wrong. No, that's not it at all.
That's not it?
I mean, it's impossible.
Impossible.
You know that hemp bag Ibuki was wearing when she died? Try remembering the tote bag instead. Ding! I totally remember now.
What the heck's wrong with her? She's getting weirder by the minute.
That tote bag, isn't it the same one that girl was wearing in the video?
How do you know so much about that video?
Who cares about that? More importantly, did you know that bag is a limited item that was sold at the movie theater? Hajime saw it too, didn't you? You remember the Usami decal on it, right? Whoopsie! Don't worry about it. I remember even if you don't. Ta-da! There's no mistake that tote bag is a limited item. So don't you think it's impossible using one tote bag in both the conference room and the music venue at the same time? It's blatantly obvious that that's impossible.
Dude, we know it's
Don't
you. We're gonna vote for you either way.
That's why that video isn't fabricated. And I'm not the killer. So you'll forgive me, right?
Taking your stubbornness this far.
Then you're gonna forgive me?
It's time for the third. Please see my 10 years one last time. Be added. Okay. Ugh.
Until you forgive me! That's why that crime is impossible for anyone to pull off.
This chick, has she lost it for good?
Will you forgive me? You'll forgive me, right?
Oh boy.
You still haven't forgiven me? I'll do anything you want. Please, draw on me. Do you understand? Why only me? Please, draw on me. Can you forgive me already? Forgive me! Forgive me! Please, draw on me. Do you understand? Can you forgive me already? I'll do anything you want. Can you forgive me already? I'll do anything you want. You're done for! Forgive me! Forgive me! Why only me? You still haven't forgiven me? I'll do anything you want. Please, draw on me. Do you understand? There's only one bag. It's impossible to use it in two places at the same time. Why only me? Please, draw on me. Can you forgive me already? Forgive me! Forgive me! Please, draw on me. Do you understand? There's only one bag. It's impossible to use it in two places at the same time!
Okay, so it's the price bonus, I think.
I'll do anything you want. Can you forgive me already? I'll do anything you want. You're done for! Forgive me! Forgive me! Why only me? There's only one bag. It's impossible to use it in two places at the same time! You still haven't forgiven me? I'll do anything you want. Please, draw on me. Do you understand? Why only me? Please, draw on me. There's only one bag. It's impossible to use it in two places at the same time. Can you forgive me already? Forgive me! Forgive me! Please, draw on me!
I'm doing like so crappily right now.
Can you forgive me already? I'll do anything you want. Can you forgive me already? There's only one bag. It's impossible to use it in two places at the same time.
This is the end!
Oh, finally, that's the combination they were looking for. Man, I'm spazzed. I I was spazzed out that.
mentioned this earlier. Whoever bought that bag should have received another one as a bonus prize. Which means it's not impossible to use that bag in 2 separate places. So please, just...
Why? Why can't...
It seems...
Why does everybody always hate me?
Nikon, it's already over. After I go over your crime from the beginning and show that you have no arguments left, please just admit it already.
And I'm on like no. I'm on like no health, so I'm probably gonna have to redo this. Simple one, all things considered. I saw on the monitor. The killer due after the broadcast. How the real locked room was created.
Here's everything that happened in this case. The key to this incident is the surveillance camera video that only I saw. That's why I'm going to start with that to unravel the knots of this crime. When I went to the hospital with Nikon this morning, I noticed a specific thing in the lobby. The incoming signal light on the surveillance monitor was blinking ahead of the scheduled time. When I switched on the monitor, what appeared on screen was a person wearing a hospital gown and a bag on their head about to hang themselves right at that moment. That surveillance camera unit was designed for two-way communication with the hospital and the music venue. That's why I thought the signal originated from the music venue, so I immediately headed over there. But that was the killer's trap. In truth, that video was recorded in a different place. The killer brought the music venue camera the night before and made their preparations in advance, and then they filmed that video in the hospital conference room. By doing so, they tried to make me think the incident when in fact, the crime had already been committed by that point. The person in the footage wearing the bag was actually the killer acting as a fake. I didn't know that, so I went to the music venue and found the hanged body wearing a bag on his head. Seeing the body before me, I panicked and rushed out of there to get the rest of you guys. But that was also part of the killer's trap. After cleaning the conference room, the killer was likely watching the music venue from outside. And, as if they were switching places with me, they went inside the music venue and began working on their last trick. First, the killer peeled off the wallpaper covering one of the stage pillars, revealing Hyoko's body. When I first arrived and saw the hanged body, I didn't notice anything strange about that pillar. I didn't expect it to be slightly larger from the wallpaper, or have Hyoko's body hidden inside. Next, the killer destroyed the surveillance camera that was used in the conference room. After destroying it, they mixed it with what was left of the surveillance monitor found at the crime scene. The surveillance camera the killer used was originally, when they brought it, they made sure to destroy its monitor beforehand. They wanted to hide the fact that the camera wasn't at the crime scene. In the end, The killer transformed the crime scene into a closed... They broke one of the drumsticks from the storage room and placed it near the music venue's entrance. However, they did this to mislead us into believing that the music venue was locked from the inside. In actuality, the reason the music venue became a closed room was because of the killer sealed the door with glue and intentionally created a closed room that could be forced open. With that, the killer finished tampering with the crime scene and met up with Fuyuhiko. They helped us force open the music venue door, despite the fact that they personally sealed it. They made us discover not just Ibuki's body, but Hyoko's suddenly present body as well. At the time, they pretended to be surprised, but inside, they were probably relieved that their plan worked out. Isn't that right, Mikan? This crime was orchestrated by you, wasn't it?
There you have it.
Whoa! Now she's laughing?
It's been such a long time. This feeling, I know it well. Like the floor is collapsing, like the sky is falling down upon you. This feeling of despair!
Mikan, you... What has happened to you?
Oh, wow.
Whoa there! Before that, a moment of your time.
I made it be 88 coins. Not too bad.
It seems your arguments have reached a conclusion, so let's proceed to our regularly scheduled voting time. Now then, please pull the lever in front of you and cast your vote. Who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? Let's...
I liked you, Mikan. I hoped you'd live.
Well now.
Oh, it may be obvious at this point.
Correct!
You got it right once again. That's like 3 in a row. That's right, the true identity of the horrifying blackened who killed 2 girls was Mikan Tsuzumiki.
Damn it.
You gotta be shitting me.
I won't forgive you.
Did you lie to us all along? You planned to kill them from the start while you were nursing them?
Hey!
Don't just laugh. This is going nowhere.
What's going on?
This chick. Hey, come to think of it, I know we're... How's my pet? He's doing alright.
Hey.
It's not like Paco. She's actually gone mental.
That's obvious.
She's no longer the same person. So no longer the Mikan Tsuzumiki we knew. Huh?
Hey.
Based on predictions, she might have caught it too. She probably had the spirit disease, which was the motive for this case.
What?
Mikan too, you say? Yeah, because I was looking at Mikan for so long. She was the one taking care of me after all. My consciousness was drifting, but even so, when I did catch a glimpse of her, expression was full of despair, a despair so devoid of hope that not even a single fragment of it remained. You say Mikan also had the spirit disease? Then that means she was...
What?
Hajime, has something crossed your mind? My body's heavy. No, I just have something soft and really hot. That's right. Now that I think about it, that must have been a high fever. Just like what Ibuki and Akane had.
It cannot be.
Because that disease Mikan was...
Perhaps...
Then said she surely felt it must have been deserving of the name despair disease. Losing all hope and harboring despair for all hope. Because of the despair disease, she was likely overcome with despair.
See?
That's the reason why she can still laugh in such a hopeless situation.
Jeez.
Which means the McCann's same force is no longer the ultimate nurse. She's a completely different person and she's infected by the despair disease.
Isn't that right?
She's a human who deserves to be called the ultimate despair. You can't say despair instead of sake of hope.
Possible.
I'm like,
Oh?
for the sake of despair? That's completely wrong.
Huh?
Wrong? What's
What
wrong?
I did was for the sake of my beloved.
Huh?
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 Who are you talking about? If only they were still alive, they'd be so happy. I know.
My beloved was the only one. That's right. The only one who never hated me. They forgave my existence. They forgave me and accepted me. They gave me value. They loved me. I loved them with all my heart, and they returned it in full. This is my reciprocation.
I've done something unforgivable, but you know, to change all that is truly.
Love.
But love's.
Hey.
I don't understand what you're saying. You don't understand? Because you don't have anything to love? Is it because you're also someone who's accepted by anyone? I feel sorry for you.
Well?
I should know you understand, but love is a wonderful thing. So you don't care about anything. Kick me. It's like nothing matters. Like just die. That's how little it matters to me. Here's not over despair. It's love. Only love.
Could it be?
The ghetto. Is this really the despair disease you were talking about?
This is.
It seems that I was wrong. Not only was she affected by despair. You're half right. It's right to say that this is all thanks to the disease. Because thanks to the disease, I remember my beloved. Remember? So my symptom was, haha, what a wonderful symptom. Which is you had the remembering disease?
But.
That means you ended up like this.
Such despair.
When you're saying she was like this from the start, were you like this before you became this silent? Don't get so angry. Well, first of all, the reason I became like this wasn't my fault. It was all your fault, you know? Because I'm entirely responsible for turning out like this. I'm understanding because of me, human relationships. So it's everybody's fault that I turned out like this, you see? Even so, the current me was so strongly influenced by my beloved's existence. And it's also my beloved who created the me that everyone can't forgive. But my beloved still forgives me and accepts me. That's the key difference all of you and my beloved.
Don't fuck with me!
Who are? Is this guy a Togo under a different name? Or... Huh. Do you really remember? You ended up like this all because you remember? There's no way I can believe that. There's no way. The person you're right now is the real McCann. You still doubt me? Then to remember, I'll tell you all something nice. It's about the world organization you all were worried about.
You serious?
You know? No, I just remember, that's all. I knew all about it all along. How that horrible organization known as the World Ender is also an organization known as the Future Foundation. Future Foundation? Future. Someone at Ancient Ruins door. That's right, it was the Japanese word for future.
Hey.
Just what is the Future Foundation? What are they planning? That organization is the World Ender. The Future Foundation is trying to end our world. Trying to claim the world for themselves.
This is bad.
It's in a conflict, you know. A part of planning the world, the Future Foundation brought us this island. Isn't that right, Monomi? Monomi, Monokuma, they're both members of that crazy organization, aren't they? Monomi and I are members. existence is simply my own.
Hey,
And you already know, right? You know the true idea of the trigger hiding among us. Of course I know that. Let's see, the few foundations lacking that's hiding among you all is...
Oh?
Well, no one cares about that, don't you think?
of course not!
Aw, hell no. You'll find out eventually, so there's no need to be so impatient. Probably when the countdown ends. Countdown? You even know about that?
Oh?
I don't know anything. Huh? I have a feeling that that's what it is, but who cares about that, you know? I'm dragging so much love from the bottom of my heart, I just don't care about anyone or anything.
That is...
Mikan, is this really you? I won't believe it. There's no way I can believe it. You were like this all along? Because if that's true, who's this person we've been spending time with up until now? The past. Past? That person, she didn't exist in the beginning. She's just my past self who lost her school memories. You guys consider that thing a friend.
Oh?
That doesn't make me happy at all. It just fills me with despair. Yeah, I accept my best self, but not my present self. That applies to you as well. Memories of people, memories of events, whatever the memory it is, losing memories are.
Do you understand?
Like losing your personal identity. Memories are the most important component in building a person, don't you think? Losing our memories makes us shadows of the past. Don't you think?
Hey,
I don't know what you're trying to say, but in the end, it always leads back to that story about our stolen school lives.
hey! Damn it!
If it wasn't true, we wouldn't be suffering this much. Well, why don't you take your sweet time and remember it at your own pace? Oh, Monokuma! Is it alright that you just start now?
Yes, indeed.
Punishment time? Damn it, why? Mikan, why does it have to end like this? This is too pointless. This is too much.
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment.
So it's over. It's really... Now I can go to my beloved, who always forgives me. I can finally see them. Please forgive me, the one who's going to die with the hope of finally seeing you.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
Well, this was certainly disturbing. So I take it guys are gonna be the only ones that die now because that's the only way you can keep the gender balance equal. So many women have died.
Let me ask.
Who was that Mikan from earlier? Or is that itself symptom of the sphere disease? It doesn't matter either way. If she ended up like that just from remembering, then all along Mikan was never worth being a symbol of hope.
What?
Even if her words were influenced by the sphere disease, if that disease turned her into that, if she lost herself to a symbol of disease, she was definitely unworthy of being a symbol of hope.
Isn't that right?
Let's just move on.
Wait!
And so... ended up showing. Then she vanished from our sight, leaving behind only her mouse towards us. Then we can just move on and have a clear-cut attitude about these feelings. That's clearly impossible.
Damn it!
She was the traitor too.
Wrong.
Too bad that's not the case. Mikan was definitely not the traitor.
Come on.
As proof, see how fine Monomi looks right now. I'm not fine at all. But if the traitor died, you wouldn't be this calm, right? I mean, you're both pawns of the Future Foundation, so you guys have like two hearts beating as one, right?
You fiend.
You did say that you're different than Monomi.
Phew.
Here's what I am. More important, I'm tired. The jar just keeps going and going. I didn't even have time to eat my black bean right eye during the break.
Hey!
You ready to have black beans? What are you trying to say?
Hey,
Isn't it the said that life has its ups and downs? So in order to help you guys feel better, I prepared a special event. Special event? Head over to the first island speech. An old friend will be waiting there. Old friend?
Huh?
Nekumaru?
Hey!
Safe, how should I say this? That greedy bastard would come back to us in one piece. So I see a light of hope. I am happy to, but I...
So just as I thought.
So I honestly cannot be happy. Miss Sonia.
However...
Even so, I'm still happy. If Nekumaru is safe, I'm truly happy.
Fine.
You should honestly greet with open arms. Perhaps those that have been taken from us would do the same if they still lived. Funeral or who gives a shit? That language doesn't suit you at all.
Silence.
I shall crush you into dust. Can you hear us? However, please forgive me right now. Yeah, I'm sure your feelings are reaching them.
Right?
Let's all make Maru. Let's make it green, even those who have died. You saw the effects of that disease? I don't get this at all. Akane.
All right!
You're right. I think it's only gonna be guys that die. Otherwise, like, yeah, gender balance would be thrown way off.
Uh-oh.
What I had to say.
Unbelievable.
Until others have finished talking. What does that mean?
Hey!
You're applying something again, aren't you?
No way!
I'm just trying to properly explain everything to them, including Nekumaru's body. Nekumaru's body? It's not far, so you're out till I finish talking. Since something has been going with that, I bear no responsibility. What did you do, Nekumaru?
What's this?
I just saved him, that's all. I mean, if I didn't do that, there's no way I could have saved someone that was that close to death. So it just couldn't be helped. We started running to the beach on the first island.
Right!
Today's enough for bikes felt light. Without time for anything, we kept right on running toward the beach on the first island. If he's gonna be in a robot body, this is gonna be...
Hey!
Show yourself. Yeah, hurry up and come out of hiding. We looked around the area. We raised our voices again. We looked around the area again. And so we kept looking for him. But...
Hey!
What the hell, man? He's nowhere to be found.
What?
Did we get false info from Monokuma again? And that's when it happened. We heard from a voice that could throw it at the beach.
What happened? Were y'all looking for me?
Could it be?
We turned toward the direction of the voice, and then we saw something truly unbelievable.
Huh? What the?
Yo! I've kept you waiting. Hey, what's going on? Perhaps you don't remember my face since we haven't seen each other in a while. That's pretty sad, you know? That's too much!
Who are you?
Huh? You too? What's going on? If you're messing with me, I'll stop doing it to you.
Nekomaru? Haven't you noticed it yourself?
What do you mean, noticed? Oh, you mean this body? This is nothing! The name's Nekomaru Nidai! I've been reborn in the rivers of hell!
9 days left. Huh.
Danganronpa.
Danganronpa.
That's that. Well, that was an interesting night. We'll be back next Friday for more of this, where we're going to play Chapter 4, which I understand is going to be a pretty long chapter. So, I will see you guys next time. You all take care. Okay, hold on, I'm having okay, now I'll see you guys later.